Monday.
Later today, the Reverend Jesse Jackson will join Detroit Mayor Dave Bing and other local leaders to drum up support for the Rebuild America March for Jobs, Justice, and Peace event. It's happening later this month in the Motor City.
And joining us this morning live from our newsroom is the Reverend Jesse Jackson. Good morning, Reverend. Thank you so much for taking the time to drop by our studios.
Thank you for allowing me to share with you today.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot incorporated in this march. Tell us what it's all about.
It is that we have a job depression in urban America. We're still closing plants and losing workers. The #1 market for Buick is China. About 27 million Americans are unemployed, are looking for a job, or they've dropped out of the job market. We're still facing massive home foreclosures. It's time to prioritize putting America back to work.
Reverend Jackson, why here in Detroit? Because this is going to be a huge march on the 28th. Will there be similar marches around the country, or is it focused here?
There will be, because Detroit is ground zero of the urban crisis. Not long ago, the big three was all the companies making cars: Buick, GM, Ford, and Chrysler. Now we are the big three are gambling casinos. We've gone from making cars to shuffling cards. The impact of that, of course, is massive unemployment, maybe 3 times the national average. And you cut in home foreclosures, you lose your tax base, you can't fund your schools, a cut in public transportation, a cut in public housing. Student loan defaults are on the rise, and that's why students must march, because we think there must be a pathway for student loan debt forgiveness. I mean, a massive stimulus would be to forgive student loan debt, for example. So we have NAA led by Reverend Wendell Anthony, the Rainbow led by Reverend David Bullock, Bob King and the UAW, the AFSCME. There's a whole body of us. We were in Lansing, Michigan yesterday. We'll be in Toledo, Ohio later on today after the press conference this morning at Corinthian Baptist Church. So one sees that this is the moment to march. You know, the big march in Washington was 1963, August 28th. But the big march was in Detroit, June 23rd, led by people like Reverend C.L. Franklin, the father of Aretha Franklin, Reverend Coleman and Talley, and the UAW at that time. And so the I Have a Dream speech was first given in Detroit in June, and then the big march in Washington in August. Now we have a march here on August 28th and a bigger march in Washington October the 2nd. But it's time for people to act and make visible our plight and seek to be a priority. If we can bail out the banks and bail out Afghanistan, and give tax cuts to the rich, there must be some priority of putting America back to work bottom up.
It sounds like you're taking on some major issues. Who do you want to hear the sounds of this march first and foremost?
Well, the White House and the Congress. I mean, the Congress was reluctant to give unemployment compensation extension. But you know, the people are now demanding jobs. Well, they're workers on Wall Street, and you belted our bosses, and you've kicked us out. Workers in Los Angeles. It's also having an impact on a kind of economic, a kind of voter depression. Detroit, 567,000 eligible voters, only 67,000 voted, like less than 12%. This pattern of violence up, jobs down, and votes down is also a fallout from the crisis. 12% voting in Detroit, 11% voting in Memphis, and that voter depression is having profound political and economic ramifications. So people must not let their spirits surrender. They must not be broken. They must fight back using their minds, their votes, and their morality. We say more jobs and no violence, and let's find a disciplined way to get the attention of those who have the power to prioritize jobs. Jobs.
And jobs, that is the key. Real quickly, before you go, a phone number if people want to take place in this march, or where they can go to learn more about it.
Well, you can contact UAW. The number should be on your screen. Either UAW or the Rainbow Push Coalition, but you'll get more information about that as the day goes on. I'm glad that the mayor of this city and mayors from surrounding cities and the UAW and NAA and Urban League and LULAC, a body of us, on this issue of finding common ground. The good news here is that we move from racial battleground with so much tension to economic common ground,
yes,
than on the moral higher ground. That's the good news. People of all races, because when they close your plant and cut the lights out, we all look amazing assembled in the dark. We say the issue really is not about black and white, it's about dark and light. Let's all together turn the lights on and put America back to work.
Yeah, Reverend Jesse Jackson, thank you. 10 o'clock this morning. I know there'll be an event that Channel 7 will be covering more on later editions of Action News. Thanks for stopping by Action News this morning.
Thank you.